milk jugs ready, those water jugs, or those soda bottles, because today we are going to do some winter sowing. Today is going to be a fun video because I am going to do some winter sowing. So what is winter sowing? Well, winter sowing is when you sow seeds in containers and you are going to leave those containers outside over the winter, and then by the time the spring get here, your plant should have grown and are big enough for you to set out in your garden or your flower pots. Now, I did this last year. I was so happy with how things turned out. Some of them didn't grow, some of them didn't germinate at all. So I'm back at it again and I'm going to give it another try. Now, the thing I like about winter sowing is that it's fun and it's so easy to do because you can use things that are right around your home, like your milk jugs, water jugs. I'm even using some soda bottles this time to start some of my seeds. So the beauty is you're saving money. You're not spending money on grow lights, seed trays. You don't have to worry about where am I going to put all these seeds at in my house so that they can germinate, or heat mats and things like that. So planting them in milk jugs is so convenient because you can just plant them, sit them outside, and keep a check on them and let nature do its thing. If you see terms on your seed packets like self-sowing, pre-chill, cold hardy, direct sow, cold stratification, then you know that these are terms to let you know that you can use the winter sowing method. And as far as the cold stratification, plants like lavender and say plants like milkweed, these type of plants really need cold stratification, and that means that they are going to require a longer period of being exposed to cold temperatures and moist conditions in order to germinate. So it's just going to take them a little bit longer, and this time the extra coldness and the extra moisture is just going to help them to break dormancy in order to grow. So let me show you some of the materials that I use in order to do the winter sowing method, and then I'm going to get started and fill my containers with soil. And at the end of the video, I will come back and show you some of the wonderful things that I have planted in my containers. I have things here on my table that you're going to need to do the winter sowing method. One of these is a milk jug, and the reason I like to use the milk jugs is because I have a wider area in order to grow things. As you can see, I put holes in the bottom. You can use a drill or whatever you feel can put holes in the bottom of your container. You can use that. And then all I did was I went to the back of the container where the handle was. It's kind of hard to see it here with the light, but you go to the back of the container where the handle is, and I just kind of cut around this area to where it would be like a hinge. And I did the same thing with a soda bottle here. You like to leave anywhere from 2 to 4 inches just so that you'll have enough soil in there in order for your roots to develop. I'm also going to use a water jug like this one. You're going to need a marker and so that you can write down the name of the plant on your container that you're going to be growing. You're going to need some duct tape because I find that when I get ready to put the tape to hold these two different sides together, it seems like it sticks better. I also like to use another label to go inside of my seed container because last year I did it and the names that I wrote kind of disappeared, so I couldn't tell what some of the plants were, the flowers were. So I'm going to stick this inside of the container before I seal it up. And then I use a water bottle so that once I finish sowing my seeds, I can mist it with this and kind of wet my seeds a little bit. You're going to need your seeds that you're going to plant. And I have some really beautiful seeds here. I can't wait to show them to you. And then last but not least, you're going to need your soil. So I already pre-moistened my soil here, and I wet it to where when you squeeze it, it's not really dripping water or anything like that, a lot of water, and it holds together, you know, whenever I kind of let it go. All this is potting mix, and the reason I like to use potting mix over seed starting mix is because I used seed starting mix last year, and I found that the seed starting mix dried out much faster than the potting mix did, and so that meant I had to water more. This year I'm just going to use the potting mix, but you can use the seed starting mix if you like. The only thing that I would not recommend using is garden soil, because that is going to be too heavy. Okay, so I'm going to get started, and I'm going to put some soil in some of my containers, and hopefully that will keep them from flying off of my table here. And then I'll come back and we'll sow some seeds. Okay guys, I am going to sow these seeds here, and I turned the tabs around so you can't see, so no peeking. Don't try to look and see what I'm planting. I'm going to show you after I get finished, okay? So I'm thinking I may grow about 4 in this container here. So I'm just going to put a little indentation in here. I will tell you one thing, these are greens, these are brassicas, okay? And I planted some more brassicas, so I'm only going to put 1 seed in each hole and hope that it comes up. Well, I may put 2, just in case. I'll put 2. If I end up with 4 plants, I can always separate them. So let me just cover them back up with a little soil, and then I'm going to come back and spray them with some water. Matter of fact, I can go ahead and do that right now. And this is all I do. This is why I use the little spray mister here. Okay, I think that's good because the soil was wet. And the thing I like about this is like a little greenhouse for your plants. You know, you tape it up, and it's just wonderful because it's just going to keep your seeds all nice and comfy in here until it's time to open this lid up. And I'm going to be sure and come back and show you all. Let me turn this around. I'm going to come back and show you all how well it's doing. Let me see, my tape hemmed up a little bit, so let's see. I'm just going to put it around to hold the 2 sides together. I like the duct tape because it does hold pretty well. This one here is going to be the same as the other one. The seeds are so little, and you might can guess what they are if you are an avid gardener. I know my hands are dirty, but let me show you. This is how small they are. So, as I said, the smaller the seeds, just going to drop them in, because ain't no way I'm going to be able to really see how many seeds I'm planting. I know, like I said, I'm over sowing these seeds. So anyway, just gonna them up a little bit here. And down. Said anywhere from like a 4 to 8 inch deep. Wait a minute. Take this off. Oh. I could knock my microphone over too. Okay. I almost covered my piece that is like my hinge, and I don't want to do that. Now I have left the top off of my containers, and I usually like to leave them open so they can get some air. Or if I find that it's raining too much, then I'll come out, put the lids back on. So let me just, I think I'm gonna just plant about 8 in here. And I don't like to cover my hose up until I plant all my seeds. That way I know if I missed any one that I didn't put a seed in. Down below that. Okay, so I laid out some of the milk jugs that I finished. This one is called the Big Blue. So this is one that I've never tried before. It actually grows like a little tree collard. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this one is gonna do. I don't have any pictures of that one. And then I planted some lavender, and this one is called the English lavender. So that's what this one is, the English lavender. I love the scent of lavender, and I can't wait to see this one grow. And then I have another tree collard, and this one is called the Jolly Green tree collard. So it came in this little pack. I still have some more seeds left, so I'm just, like I said, I'm over the moon about the tree collard. So the Big Blue here, and then the Jolly Green. I also planted one earlier called the Merit tree collard. So there's 3 different ones I'm planting. So I better get something, even if it's one tree collard, because from the video that I watched, it's like it grows year-round, and it just continues to grow like a tree. And then as it grows, you can also take cuttings from it and propagate some more tree collards. So I'm looking forward to that. Now this one is a herb. This one is sage. This one is the broadleaf sage. That's this one right here. And then the next one is oregano, and this one is a Greek oregano. So I love oregano. You just can't have enough oregano. This one is my all-time favorite one, and this one is called a green coneflower. I just want to take the price off so you don't see how much I paid for it. So this one is called a green twister coneflower. This one is so pretty. It says butterflies, birds, and bees love this drought tolerant, easy to grow perennial. And then last but not least is my larkspur, and that's this one right here. And I bought this from the dollar store, and I got 4 packs for $1. I am looking forward to beautifying my garden, not only with vegetables but with flowers as well. So I'm gonna keep you posted and let you know how things are going. I'm gonna leave the lids off, and I am going to keep a check on them, and if they dry out, all I have to do is spray in there like that and mist them some and give them some that way, and that way they should be just fine. But even though it's an easy way to grow plants, you want to make sure that you keep a check on them. You don't want them to get too dry, and you don't want them to get too wet. If you have an extraordinarily large amount of rain in your area, then I would put the tops on. And then if it was too hot in your area, then I would take the lids off. As the weather starts warming up and they start getting bigger, you may find that you'll have to just open it up. I've seen people cut holes in the front of it so that it can vent that way, but you can do that, or you can just take the tape off and leave it open. I'm going to keep these in a shady area of my garden because I don't want them getting a lot of sun and getting too hot and drying out. And also I want to put them in an area so that stray animals or anything will come around and knock them over or chew into them and destroy all the work that I put into planting these seeds. So thanks for joining me, and I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.